Hey guys, Moms Against Medical Bullying. Woo. I just wanted to come on here and chat for a second. So yesterday I visited the public library again. My kid wanted to go and pick out a certain book, and I was like, oh great. Honestly, I wasn't even looking forward to it. I was like, yeah, I was not looking forward to it. I kind of started getting adrenaline rush at the thought of going. Um, some places are just worse than others, the stores, the supermarket, thank God they're not, they don't really bother. Um, but the library, every time I go, I get approached. So, um, so that's never fun. But, when I went, it was kind of, well, actually, the last time I went, it was worse because the lady was being like more persistent, like acting all frightened and everything. Like I was just a threat to them. But this time when I went, it was just one lady behind the desk, which is probably better in a way because if it's two, they can feel more bold and more pushy. But it was one lady behind the desk, and when we walked in, she said, "Do you need a mask?" And I said, "No, thank you." And she said, I said, "I'm exempt." And then she said something. I couldn't really make out what she said because, they do get, their voices do get muffled with the masks on. All I heard was exempt. I don't know if she was asking, like, do you have an exemption letter? I don't know what the heck she was saying. I just said, yep, I'm exempt. And I just kind of kept walking a little bit, and then they always ask you, which probably whoever the manager of that library probably told them that this is what they have to ask. But she said, well, is there anything that I can find for you? Because basically she's saying, I want you to hurry up and get the heck out of here. So, if there's anything that I can find for you. And I just said, no, thank you. We're just going to browse and look for books. So, yeah, I said this in my last video about it, but like around the library display, they have books about masks for kids and stuff like that. Like, just kind of making masks, like, once again, look like heroic, just like they do with vaccines, of course. So, yeah. Oh, and one thing that I noticed as I frequently kind of glanced over at the librarian sitting behind her desk, um, was that she literally used hand sanitizer like 2 or 3 times in the matter of us being there. And she had done nothing but sit at her desk. Like she wasn't up and about or engaging with people. Like we were the only ones there. So she used like hand sanitizer 2 or 3 times. I was like, wow, that is so interesting. So, yeah, that was that. And another thing I wanted to mention was that, so yeah, just that experience is not a very positive experience. It's it brings stress. So anyway, because that is a stressful event, when I got back home, like I feel like I needed to recover from that experience for like a few hours. Like I felt like a tension headache coming on, but I just like laid down and relaxed for a while. And honestly, I'm so sick and tired of hearing about the Republicans and Democrats, and I just don't even care anymore in a way, because I don't think that when our nation began, I don't think that the forefathers wanted to create two separate parties. I don't even understand why that exists. Because if you're going to run for a spot in the government, the thing that should matter is the Constitution, I would think. But anyways, yeah, I just feel like this year, the word that the Lord is putting in my heart is trust. Trust. That's what I keep hearing is trust, trust, trust. Like last year, my word last year was embrace. So this year it's trust. God is saying, just trust me. And I feel like when people hear that, if you tell people just trust God, they don't like that, because to them, when you say trust God, in their mind, they hear that as don't do anything, just be complacent and be lazy or something. So they get upset. And I think that's because the mind hasn't been renewed, because they still see God as evil. Just like when Adam and Eve fell from their oneness with God, from that consciousness, they then began to believe that God was evil and that he couldn't be trusted, that they had to do something in their own works to save their life, to help themselves. So I think that that's probably where that upsetness comes from, just that old man, that old mindset. But, personally, God is speaking for me to trust him. So, and I think that's a good place. And, trusting God, it just means that you trust and wait on him for direction and, for what you should do specifically. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Have a great night.